So your business, I know you were working, and Matt were working very, very long hours to try to save your business, trying to save your reputation. This must have had an effect on you, probably both mentally and physically. Tell me a bit about that, Mark.
Very stressful. Once the disbelief of what they'd done, you know, I couldn't believe what they had done. Once we'd come to terms with it, I spent every Saturday, sometimes Sunday, in here trying to stabilise the business, trying to set up my own core routing business within Barton Telecom so that we could do exactly what Telemax was doing, so that we could then take over lines, calls, broadbands ourselves, get the correct rate of commission, to own those customers ourselves. So as you can imagine, I'm a telecoms man of 42 years at this particular date, but I'm an engineer and I built the business on engineering phone system install. So it was a totally new part of the business that I had to suddenly learn, and a massive, massive learning curve. The mistakes were made, we lost money trying to do things and bring customers on board. The cap in hand that I had to ring customers and beg them to come back to us, and some would say, well, you'll have to offer a lower rate to get us back, so they didn't care. Some did care and know me, that I was true and loyal and have not done anything wrong, and would stay with us because they trusted us. So embarrassing, painful, hurtful, maddening, and the stress of the learning on the new part of the business, which is now running, touch wood, beautifully, was immense.
I know we've spoken about this in the past, but it has caused problems between yourself and Claire. And how long have you and Claire been married?
This coming year will be 40 years.
And so after 40 years, or let's say 38 years, suddenly there's arguments.
I would say just disagreements, really. It would be more that she would get upset about it, and I can understand that, because she didn't want the stress. We'd had enough stress with it as it was. She has backed me, and she's done everything, and found all the information, and is angry about what they did. But it was just stressful. I guess it's like any married couple that has a stress slightly outside the marriage relationship, it will just cause friction. But it's all fine now. But yes, at the time it was a little bit.
But after all these years of marriage, and as I say, having an excellent reputation within our industry, it must have caused you sleepless nights, I would imagine.
Yeah, it did.
I'm glad that your business is back on track. Now, one thing that I think is always underestimated is the effect of being the victim of crime and feeling that you're not listened to, that you're, yes, this crime has been, we know, 10 years, more likely 20, 25, has affected hundreds of people, has affected individuals and companies alike. You go to the police. Let me ask this question, Mark. What was your expectation when this was reported to the police?
Naively, I guess I was expecting to be arrested by Christmas, because it was such a serious crime, such amount of money gone, and such obvious. The evidence was so obvious. But to me now, I believe that the police look for the easy crimes, the motoring offences. They're not interested in a serious crime or a complex crime, or they don't have the resources maybe to deal with it. And they did say that. There was somewhere in the conversations, I can't remember where they did say, you know, it's resources, manpower, and one of the comments that was said was getting somebody to understand it. You must understand that these are police officers, they're not accountants. Well, I spent £1,000 on producing the document and gave it to them. So, you know, why didn't they look at it?
Do you feel disappointed?
Yeah, I do. I and my wife and my son say, what is the point of reporting a crime? You know, you see all these people that get away with so much defrauding, and you know, we just don't need to be afraid. If crime, you can go and commit a crime if you want, and that is it. There's total lack of confidence, really. I know they have a tough job, and you know, they get treated appallingly. I agree, and some of the things you see on telly with the drunks and that they deal with. But when it comes down to this level of crime, they are not equipped to deal with it unless it is a serious amount of money. And again, in conversations, it did come up that it has to be a certain level of money. Well, surely mine was the tip of the iceberg with this particular company, Telemax, and the company that they are associated with, and the crimes that, you know, have been done. So there was a lot. It should have been looked at.
But they pursue shoplifters, Mark.
I know.
So I could walk in Sainsbury's today, nick a Mars bar, get caught by the security guard, the police would come out. But you can steal £100,000 from a company and you still don't get arrested.
You've got the easy target because you're a shoplifter, easy to deal with.
So all you need is a brain and the ability.
Yes.
And you can walk away from this scot-free.
A clever person could manipulate this system very, very easily, because then there's no fear, and they know that. There is no fear of the police doing anything about it.
This is a damning indictment of Northamptonshire Police, isn't it?
Mm.
Do you have any confidence that this will ever be resolved to your satisfaction, Mark?
Maybe one day somebody in HMRC might wake up and say, crikey, we ought to do a check on these people. I would like to think that they have, but I have very little doubt. I don't think anybody's bothered, and the fact that we had even an incorrect crime number and we kept on at them over this, I don't think that they were the slightest bit interested, is the honest and heartful truth.
Does it ever make you question why you bother to run a legitimate, honest, transparent business?
Yeah, it does. But I mean, I've no intention of not doing that because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But yeah, it does. You could say, oh, why bother? Why? What's the point? For me, I'm not a greedy person. I have a nice business. I have good staff. They've got a nice steady living, and I'm happy with that. So there's no interest. But the wrong person of mentality, the people at Telemax type people who went down that path, there are many like them that would take advantage and easily go for a criminal route if they chose to do so.
Have you been to James Bruff's house at all, Mark?
Yes, once, many years ago.
He's him and his wife Donna Moore, now Donna Bruff. They have quite a spectacular property in Pitsford now, and they have exotic holidays and a very, very nice lifestyle. Does it make you angry when you think that it's your money that has funded a lot of that lifestyle?
Yeah, I live in the hope that somebody will wake up and do something about it, investigate him, and he will have to pay a lot of money back and lose that house.
Because there is the Proceeds of Crime Act. I mean, that's your money. Have you considered a private prosecution, or is it just too expensive?
It's I'm 65 this year. I don't want the stress now.
I understand that. What would be your perfect 65th birthday present, Mark, that Northamptonshire Police and HMRC could deliver to you?
To them to go in and sort these people out. I don't look for recompense. This is nothing to do whatsoever for recompense and getting my money back. I'm not bothered now. We've moved on, and all I would love to see is that these people were punished for a crime that they have committed. Nothing more.